Why criticism doesn't work, and what does. The upgrade code. Ever snapped at someone, only to see them dig in even harder? What if I told you? Criticism doesn't change behavior, it only builds walls. Today, we're diving into Dale Carnegie's first and arguably most powerful principle. Criticism is not just useless, it's dangerous. We'll break down why it backfires, explore how our brains respond to it, and uncover what actually works, using real-world stories and modern psychology. Why criticism backfires. Carnegie said it best. Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes him strive to justify himself. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's pride, hurts his sense of importance, and arouses resentment. We think we're helping when we criticize, but often, we're just triggering shame, fear, or resentment. When you call someone out, especially in public, they don't reflect. They shut down. They don't learn. They defend. They withdraw. And here's the kicker. Even hardened criminals don't see themselves as wrong. In Dale Carnegie's words, Al Capone, the most notorious public enemy, said, "I have spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time, and all I get is abuse." They rationalize, they justify, just like we do. Criticism doesn't spark change, it sparks resistance. Science of change, encouragement versus threat. Psychologist B.F. Skinner, one of the pioneers of behavioral science, proved this through decades of research. Positive reinforcement is far more effective than punishment in shaping behavior. We don't thrive under scolding. We thrive under encouragement. When people feel safe, valued, and respected, they listen. When they feel threatened, judged, or belittled, they rebel. Let's take a real story Carnegie shares. A man named George Johnston. George managed a crew of workers who constantly refused to wear their hard hats. He reprimanded them again and again. They obeyed, but only while he was watching. "Turn your back." The helmets came off. Finally, George changed tactics. Instead of criticizing, he asked, "Are the hats uncomfortable?" And he explained why it mattered. "I've seen guys get hurt. These things save lives." Suddenly, the helmets stayed on. No resistance, no arguments, just quiet cooperation. Why? Because George engaged them. He didn't attack them. What happens in the brain? When we're criticized, our brain lights up with threat detection. The amygdala, our fear center, activates. We go into survival mode, fight, flight, or freeze. That shuts down the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, empathy, and growth. On the other hand, when we're praised, appreciated, or invited into dialogue, our prefrontal cortex lights up. We become more open-minded, curious, and motivated to change. That's what Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck calls a growth mindset, where mistakes become opportunities, not threats. Real-world example: work, parenting, and everyday life. Think about a workplace situation. A boss barks, "This report is completely wrong. Fix it now." The employee shuts down, embarrassed, tense, afraid to ask questions. Now imagine this version. "You've been doing solid work lately. I noticed a few details in the report we can sharpen. Want to take a look together?" Totally different reaction. Same in parenting. Instead of, "You never clean your room. You're so lazy," try, "You did a great job organizing your desk last week. Think we could tackle the rest of the room today?" You're not ignoring the problem. You're just inviting cooperation instead of demanding obedience. Carnegie's alternative. What to do instead. Dale Carnegie offers specific tools to replace criticism. And they work. Let's break them down. 1. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. People respond to genuine affirmation. It sets a positive frame. "You've been doing a great job on deadlines lately." 2. Call attention to mistakes indirectly. Avoid pointing fingers. Be subtle and kind. I noticed the formatting on this part was different. Maybe we missed a template step? 3. Talk about your own mistakes first. This makes others feel safe to admit theirs. I used to forget to save backups all the time, until I lost a whole week's work. 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Could we try sending out the update today instead of tomorrow, just in case there's feedback? Questions invite engagement. Orders demand submission. 5. Let the other person save face. Never corner someone in front of others. Criticism in public destroys morale. Let's chat privately. I had a couple of thoughts on how we can tweak that last meeting. 6. Praise the slightest improvement. Catch people doing something right and amplify it. Hey, I saw you logged in earlier today. Appreciate that. 7. Give the person a fine reputation to live up to. You've always been one of our most thoughtful team members. I know this won't slip past you again. People rise to the expectations you set for them. 8. Make the fault easy to correct. All it needs is a quick tweak. 5 minutes and we're golden. 9. Let the other person feel the idea is theirs. You mentioned a great point about earlier deadlines. Maybe this is where it fits. Consider this role play. 2 versions of the same moment. Version 1. Criticism. This is unacceptable. You need to fix it immediately. Version 2. Empowerment. You've done great work so far. Let's see how we can improve this part together. Same issue, opposite result. Tone and phrasing don't just change how you sound, they change how others feel. But what if they deserve criticism? Let's be real. Some people are careless, some drop the ball, some test your patience. But ask yourself this: do you want to vent or do you want results? You can either win the argument or win the person. Dale Carnegie reminds us, any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. But it takes wisdom, patience, and skill to coach someone into becoming better without tearing them down. Recap. The upgrade code. Criticism wounds. Praise builds. Ask questions instead of barking orders. Admit your own mistakes to model vulnerability. Empower people by recognizing effort. Appreciate small wins. Let others own the solution. This week's challenge. Take just one moment this week when you're tempted to criticize and flip it. Swap the blame for praise. Swap the command for a question. Swap frustration for curiosity. Then, watch what happens. Comment below. What's the hardest part about leading or helping others? Is it being patient? Letting go of control? Communicating clearly? Let's solve it together using the upgrade code. And if this helped you grow, like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more weekly mindset upgrades.